5 things that you need to know before you visit Buenos Aires, the capital of Argentina. Not only one of the best cities in South America, but one of the best cities in the world, in my view. The first thing you need to know is that you do need to have travel insurance to enter Argentina. As of the 1st of July 2025, it was made law that all foreigners entering the country have to have travel insurance that covers healthcare. So you can check with your bank in your home country to see if they offer any travel insurance, or you can go to the description of this video and just click the link below. I have put a link to an insurance provider called Safety Wing, and they offer pay-as-you-go travel insurance. You pay monthly about $56. It's great for those who are coming on a one-way ticket and you don't know how long you're planning to be in the country for. Now, in reality, the Argentine border guards may not actually ask you to provide any proof of insurance when you enter the border. I was not asked to provide any proof, and you can see on the screen here some other people were not asked to provide any proof as well, but it is now mandatory, so you do have to comply with the rules. Now, the second thing that you need to know about visiting Buenos Aires is that the city is really big and there is a lot to do. There are many things to see. Do not book 2 days or 3 days in Buenos Aires. I mean, as a tourist, the bare minimum you should spend in Buenos Aires is 5 days. 7 days is definitely better, maybe even more. And lots of people do spend longer than 7 days. Some people spend months here because it is such a great city. You will definitely want to go to Avenida Corrientes. That's where you see the obelisk. That's where you have all the theaters. That's where you have the Pizza Guerin, which is the famous pizza restaurant. It's kind of like the Broadway or the Times Square of Buenos Aires. And then you've got Puerto Madero, which is where lots of the skyscrapers are and the fancy cocktail bars. You've got the Casa Rosada, and then you can go to San Telmo and you can go to the market there and get all of the food there. You can then go to Boca and see all of the colourful buildings and see the Maradona murals and go and watch a Boca Juniors game. Or maybe you go to River Plate and watch River Plate instead. I have actually put a link below in the description and the comment section to where you can book a tour of both River Plate and Boca Juniors. You may want to go and see a tango show. Once again, if you go to the description and the comment section, I have put a link to a tango event where you get drinks and wine included. You will probably want to go and check out the big fancy library, the El Ateneo Library. You can see the Recoleta Cemetery where lots of famous Argentinians are buried, and you can actually book a guided tour in English where the tour guide gives you the history and the backstory to all of these people buried there. Again, the link for that tour is below in the description and the comments. Recoleta is a very grand part of the city. You can just walk around that neighborhood and see lots of beautiful architecture. You've got some really nice parks there you can go to on a sunny day. You've got the Japanese gardens there. You're certainly going to want to spend time in the Palermo neighborhood. Beautiful, colourful buildings and cobble streets and trees lining all of the streets there, full of cafes and bars and restaurants and great nightlife. You've got great steakhouses and great international food in Palermo. You could spend weeks on end in Palermo, cafe hopping, bar hopping, nightclub hopping. It is just such a lovely neighbourhood. You can go up to Belgrano, that's where you find Chinatown. I've not even talked about the day trips you can take from Buenos Aires. You can go up to Tigre and walk along the river. You can go down to La Plata, take the train down to there. That's where the largest cathedral in Argentina is. You may even want to do a day trip over to Uruguay, to Colonia del Sacramento. I've probably missed a lot of things. Do comment below the things that I have missed off my long list. But yeah, if you come here for 3 days, you are really missing out on so much that the city has to offer. Now, the third thing that you need to know about visiting the city is, of course, where to stay in Buenos Aires. Basically, if you can stay anywhere within this block that I've circled on the screen here, you're probably going to be fine. You're near most of the tourist attractions and most of the neighborhoods in this region are relatively safe. Now, I will just emphasize that some of you may be considering staying near the bus terminal, the Retiro bus terminal and the Retiro train station, which is where I've highlighted on the screen here. Do not stay here. This is one of the roughest shanty towns in the entire city. It's called Villa 31 or Villa 31 in Espanol. Do not stay here. Now, for me personally, I would try and stay in Palermo. Now, Palermo is divided into 2 areas. Palermo Hollywood, where I've marked with an H, and Palermo Soho with an S. Personally, I prefer Palermo Soho. There's a bit more going on there, more cafes, more restaurants. lots more nightlife options, at least for bars. However, Palermo Soho is definitely more expensive and definitely more touristy. You do hear Americans and British people and Australians. In Palermo Hollywood, it's a bit more local. Again, really nice architecture, nice cafes and restaurants, but just a little bit more low-key. If you can't find any good deals for accommodation in Palermo, you can consider Via Crespo, just next to Palermo. It is a little bit more rougher around the edges than Palermo, but still very safe, very pretty streets. And then you've got Recoleta, which is kind of between Palermo and the city centre of Buenos Aires. It's very quote-unquote European and Parisian in this part of the city. Not as much going on here for nightlife and bars, so if you're not really interested in that, Recoleta is probably one of the best choices for you. And then you've got downtown Buenos Aires, the city centre, where you've got the Obelisk and Avenida Corrientes and Calle Florida, which is like the main shopping high street. Obviously, if you stay here, you're near the government buildings and you're near the Teatro Colón and other tourist sites. But to be honest, I do find this part of the city a bit too hectic for me. You know, a lot of cars, and also at night, it can feel a little bit sketchy. Some of the streets do get a little bit deserted. Some people consider staying in Puerto Madero. If you're on a business trip, you probably would want to stay here, but for tourism, I don't know. I don't think it's the best place. I think you're kind of far away from all of the action. I also mentioned earlier about Belgrano, the home of Chinatown. Again, some people do stay here, but for me, once again, it's kind of a little bit out of the action. But I would say it is a little hectic here, a lot of traffic, a lot of cars. I will touch on another couple of neighborhoods that I did mention earlier. San Telmo, a little bit too rough around the edges for me. It is a little bit sketchy at night time. During the day, it's fine, but I probably would not choose San Telmo, and I certainly would not choose Boca. It is quite a rough place, but in the daytime, when you go there for the murals and the colourful buildings and the Boca Juniors Stadium, it's all fine. It's very touristy, but you don't want to be there after dark. It is also good if you can stay relatively near one of the subway stations. The subway in Buenos Aires is very, very affordable. Plus, you do have Uber, the Uber application in Buenos Aires, and again, it's pretty affordable. I'll give you a couple of examples. I took a 20-minute journey from one of the train stations to my Airbnb, and this cost me over 8,000 pesos, which is about $5.50 US. I also took another Uber journey, again around 20 minutes from my Airbnb to the bus terminal. That cost me 10,800 pesos, which is just over $7 US. Now, speaking about money, this nicely leads on to the fourth thing that you should know about the city. Most places in the city will allow you to pay with a foreign bank card. That includes all of the supermarkets, most of the kiosks, most of the restaurants, cafes, even the subway these days. In the past, you needed to have a Sube card to get through the subway turnstiles. Now you can use a Visa card or a MasterCard. The prices of the subway have changed a lot over the years due to inflation, but as of October 2025, if you do use a bank card, it is 1,112 pesos for a one-way journey, which, as you can see, is about 75 US cents. So even with the inflation over the years, it's still really, really cheap to use the subway. Now, I did say earlier that most places will accept a bank card, a foreign Visa or a foreign MasterCard, and I emphasize that word most. There are two major examples where, as of October 2025, you will need physical cash, physical pesos on you. Firstly, family-owned restaurants or family-owned grills. Any kind of hole-in-the-wall independent restaurant, I would just check before you go into these places if they do allow you to pay with a foreign bank card, which in Argentina would be counted as a tarjeta credito. Even if it's a debit card back in your home country, your foreign bank card here is a credit card. So if you do see restaurants where it says something like this, solo efectivo or tarjeta debito, no tarjeta credito, it means you can't pay with your foreign bank card. You can only pay with cash. I'll give you two examples of famous restaurants in the city where you can only pay with cash or Argentinian card. So you have Don Necito, which is a very famous steakhouse. It's family owned. They only accept cash. You can see this review here from September 2025. No foreign bank cards. Another famous restaurant is somewhere called Don Ignacio. This is renowned as the best Milanesa in Buenos Aires. Milanesa being the Argentinian version of schnitzel. I actually went to sit down in the restaurant, and when I received the menu, there was some big bold writing literally saying this that you see on the screen here. So I promptly had to leave as I did not have the cash to pay for anything. You may be wondering why some of these restaurants have the ability to accept an Argentinian bank card but not a foreign bank card. Well, some of these card reader machines do not have the facility to accept a foreign bank card, and also a lot of these restaurants don't want to accept a foreign bank card because of the exchange fees and also the fact that the peso has been falling in recent years, so therefore they're getting a worse deal. The second key place where you will need cash is if you are taking one of the local trains in Buenos Aires, perhaps the train to Tigre, or maybe you're taking the train to La Plata. You can't pay with a foreign bank card, and you can't even pay in cash for your train ticket. You have to get a SUBE card, and to purchase a SUBE card and to top it up, you cannot use foreign bank card, you can only use cash. If you need to buy one, just go to the description and the comment section of the video. You will see this link here, recharge your Buenos Aires SUBE card. Click onto that link and it will give you a list of locations where you can actually purchase these SUBE cards. Just click on Consegui tu Tarjeta and then it's going to give you a map with all of the locations where you can get your SUBE card. Again, the top up is in cash and the purchase of the card is in cash only. Now, the problem with cash in Argentina is that the ATM fees are disgustingly high and they normally have really low withdrawal limits as well. The best thing therefore to do is to either bring US dollars with you before you land into Argentina and exchange those US dollars into pesos. You can do that at a Cambio shop or at Western Union, or alternatively what you can do is actually use the Western Union website and send yourself Argentine pesos and then go to a Western Union store with your passport and collect the Argentine pesos that you sent yourself. Now, you will see a lot of outdated information online. You will see outdated blog posts and outdated videos telling you not to use your foreign bank card. You have to bring thousands of US dollars with you into the country and then exchange it to get the blue dollar rate or the black market rate. Well, that's outdated information. The black market rate or the blue dollar rate is virtually the same as the official bank rate these days. So you don't need to worry about bringing your entire budget of US dollars with you into Argentina, but you will need a little bit of cash. So do bring a small percentage of US dollars with you into the country if you can. You will actually notice that a lot of clothes shops and restaurants and cafes in the city may give you a little discount if you do pay them in cash rather than bank card, but carrying around hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars with you in your pocket to exchange it is not necessary these days. Now, the fifth and final thing that you should know before you come to visit Buenos Aires is regarding the language barrier. Do people speak English in Buenos Aires? Most people don't, unless you go into really high-end cocktail bars and restaurants and hotels. Your average waitress or waiter in a hole-in-the-wall restaurant or your average barista in the coffee shop will probably not speak English. So you do need to know some basics in Spanish. So you do need to know how to ask for a table for two, or how to order a beer, or how to ask for the bill, or how to ask for the bathroom, or how to say basic numbers or basic food items. I mean, it is pretty rare that you see an English menu, so just know your basics in Spanish and you should be fine. One thing I will say about the Spanish in Argentina is that it is a little different to Spanish in other Spanish speaking countries. Their accent is slightly different. So for example, the letter Y is normally pronounced like a sh sound, just like how the Italians would pronounce a Y letter. So in Spain or Mexico, you would say yo, which means I, or playa, which means beach. In Argentina, you would say yo and playa. Also, the double L sounds like a j as well. So in Spain, you would say ¿Cómo te llamas? What is your name? You'd also say pollo, which is chicken, or you would say villa. In Argentina, you would say llamas, pollo, and villa. So just a warning, if you are learning Spanish on Duolingo and you learn the word pollo and you go to a shop and you want to buy some chicken and you say to them, can I have some pollo? And they say pollo, and you're like, no, I don't want pollo, I want pollo. No, they mean pollo, but they just say pollo because the double L is a sh sound in Argentina. Well, I will correct myself a little bit because actually the sh sound is actually the Buenos Aires accent. If you go to other provinces in the country, such as the far north of Argentina, you will hear people say the y instead of the sh, so pollo, but Buenos Aires, they always say ja. Now, just a few additional things which I think are worth mentioning. If you're coming to Buenos Aires, you're probably going to want to try the meat and the wine, and there are experiences and activities you can book online where you can go to an asado, as it's called, and try some of the meat and the different cuts. I have put a link to this asado experience in the description, and it is a highly rated one. If you want something more fancy and more high-end, you can go to this place called Fogon Asado and try a 9-course meat tasting menu. Again, the link for that is below in the description and the comments. The final thing I will add is regarding the weather. The weather in Buenos Aires is pretty strange. Both in summer and winter, you can get really hot days. Obviously, the winter is generally colder though. When it is hot in Buenos Aires, it's not a very pleasant heat. It is a very sticky and humid heat, and you do get a lot of thunderstorms in Buenos Aires throughout the year, so you will want to pack accordingly. The weather forecast is also not very good at predicting the real weather that you get in the city, so don't always count on the weather forecast. Now, do let me know if you have recently been to Buenos Aires. Comment below your thoughts on the city. Did you enjoy your time visiting? Also, if you are from Buenos Aires yourself, or if you are Argentinian, do comment below. Let me know your tips and recommendations for visiting your city, because it will help out other viewers watching this video. And if you are planning to come to visit the city sometime soon, do let me know, and do ask me any questions if you do need any help or advice.